And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are out in Upland, Indiana today for another crossover game here in the MSFA. Your 3-0 Fighting Saints take on the 1-3 Trojans of Taylor. We are underway. We'll give you the background of this game as we go. We did have an opening kickoff that was returned by Taylor. Their second play from scrimmage will be a gain of 1, and they have a 3rd down and 6 situation. Nick Jankus and Dave Laquetta up here high atop the Trojans football stadium, Turner Stadium. And Dave, I know they're 1-3, but I wouldn't let that fool anybody because they have played NCAA teams. They have played ranked NAIA teams the last 3 weeks. And while they've come up on the short end, they have played them tough, especially in that run game.
Yeah, they're still ranked among the leaders in rushing. So obviously that's what you have to watch as they go to the pass on 3rd down, and the Saints almost with a sack.
But they do get it for a loss. It was completed, but it'll still go to a loss back to the 20-yard line. The Saints defense stands up. And if we talk about how great the rushing game is for Taylor, we got to talk about how great this defense has been for St. Francis. It's been outstanding.
Yeah, ranking in the top, number 1 in the nation, allowing just 6.3 points per game. 6 points through 3 quarters, and then they've given up the 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, and Taylor has to punt, a 3-and-out for the Trojans.
The punt is away. Scott Tumulty races backward after a booming punt. It'll be down inside the 25-yard line for Taylor, and we'll see the first offensive possession here for St. Francis coming up. So the big question is, how's Sam Tumulty doing? He didn't start last week because of that lower body injury. We're not exactly sure what his situation is, so I think we're all going to learn together on who comes out onto the field for this first possession. If it's Carl Bew, you still feel pretty good. For a freshman, a true freshman in his first game, over 100 yards rushing, over 100 yards passing, that's been great. But how about this? Number 2 is on the field. Sam Tumulty is getting the start today. So there will be some question with mobility. We'll see what kind of play calling Matt McCarthy wants to go with today. He is in the shotgun with Keenan Haley on his right hip. His brother in motion, the handoff to Joey. He'll push it up past the 35-yard line. Nice gain of about 5 up to the 36 on the first play from scrimmage for the Fighting Saints.
Yeah, obviously that knee's still a little bit tender, Nick, and what the Saints will primarily do with Sam this afternoon is give the ball off. He's able to throw the ball, but it has to be, again, that vertical. I think it's the horizontal movement that we're so accustomed to with Sam. You're not going to see much of that this afternoon.
Yeah, that's a big part of his game. So we're going to see a different Sam Tumulty then. 4 down linemen against the rush for St. Francis. It's Keenan Haley out near midfield for a first down, but a flag on the play. Sam Tumulty knows what's coming, and he's just standing back at the original line of scrimmage. That one's coming back after a gain of about 11 on the run. That'll be called back by penalty. Well, they say illegal formation on St. Francis.
Yeah, they had 5 men in the backfield that time, so obviously that is illegal and a 5-yard penalty. But I'll tell you what, the thing I liked through the first 2 plays, there have been some openings. Joey with a 5-yard run, and then this one, obviously negated by the illegal formation, was a pickup of about 10 to 15 yards.
The ball will be moved back to the original line, so 2nd down and 10 here for Sam Tumulty and company. 4 wide receivers. He's going to look to pass for the first time today. Looking left. Lets one go. That one fluttered out of his hand, but great job by Dezion Jordan to come back and get the ball. He'll be pushed back and out of bounds around the 30, but forward progress will have him up to the 35. Just a gain of 4. That one looked like it slipped out of Sam's hands. Luckily enough, Dezion Jordan was there to catch it.
It'll be 3rd down for the Saints. I'd really like to see him come back with that same play that they ran Keenan Haley on that picked up 15 yards. 3rd and 6 situation here. Just 3 minutes into the contest. Taylor a 3-and-out. The Saints looking to pick up their first down of the afternoon.
Keenan Haley on the right hip of Sam Tumulty. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Ball left hash of the 35-yard line. Snap back to Sam. 5-step drop. Surveys, nothing there. A jump pass finds Joey Tumulty up near the 46 and a first down. I thought Sam Tumulty was going to run that ball, but it looks like at the last second he decided to not carry it. Jump throw complete to his younger brother, moves the chains.
Yeah, you got guys 6'4" on the defensive tackle, and Sam just at 5'10". So obviously he had to leap over to see who he had, and Joey, his brother, not much taller than him. So again, the jump throw and a pickup of 10 yards and a St. Francis first down.
You worry about the knee every time you see something like that. The handoff is Haley inside, and you can even just tell by the way Sam's moving out there that it's not the same Sam Tumulty. That one will go for no gain on the inside run by Keenan. Second down and 10 coming up at the St. Francis 46-yard line. We talked about Taylor and their schedule. Coming off 3 straight games of very tough competition. They took on Concordia University, who was receiving votes at the time. I believe they're now in the top 25.
That is correct.
And then the last 2 games against NCAA Division I FCS teams in Butler and Dayton, losing both teams. But in every single game, they've rushed for over 150 yards, so they can run it. Second down and 10 here for the Saints. Same 4-out formation. Sam fires down the middle of the field, looking for Joey in a lot of traffic.
Be pass interference.
And you're right, absolutely
he
right.
Got tripped up.
Lots of contact. Flag comes out near the Taylor 25. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. Out near the Taylor 40 and a first down via penalty as Sam slowly walks downfield, trying to take care of that knee.
I'll tell you what, one of the keys for St. Francis with Sam being in the game is going to be that protection up front for the St. Francis offense. So you've got, for the Saints, you got Daniel Getch, the tight end, Peyton Bogie, Rylan Hersink, Peyton Norton, Logan Miller, and Ashton Sorgia. So those guys are going to have to protect Sam this afternoon. They did a good job on that particular play. Saints get a 15-yard penalty to their advance, and they're in Taylor territory.
Haley, the carry, looking between the left guard and tackle, was able to pick up about 1 or 2, brings up second down, and we'll say 9. Joey Tumulty back on as Jake Friddle, the tight end, comes off. So more speed on the field for St. Francis. For 3 wide receivers again, tight end left is Dan Getch. Dezion Jordan, the deep play threat, is wide left, but they're going to throw short right. Joey Tumulty makes 1 miss. Here come the rest of the Trojans. He'll be taken down at the 29-yard line. Awful close to a first down. He might be about a foot short. So another third down coming up here. And third downs were not very friendly for either team last week when St. Francis traveled up to LT. What were they? 6 for 24?
6 for 29 between the two teams.
Wow.
I think one was 3 for 13. The other one was 3 for 16.
Mm-hmm. So right now we've already had 1 third down pickup. Right now it's 3rd down and 1. Their second third down conversion try here in their first possession of the game. No score here. 9:19 to go first quarter. Sam takes a snap, hands off to Haley. Right foot in the turf, cuts left. He's going to be awful close to that first down. I think it's going to be about a foot shy. Again, no gain on the inside run. Not getting quite the push up front. Yeah. And you kind of hard to blame him because the defensive line for Taylor is large, especially 99 Ja Pryor, 6'4", 340 on the interior of that defensive line.
Saints need to get to the 29. They're at the 30 right now. And for the season, on 4th down, they are 2 for 6.
Another first down try here. They're going to go through the air, let Keenan carry it. Snap. They're going to throw it. Sam looking, nothing there. Now he has to run. Going right, throwing on the run. Downfield, it's Keenan Haley out of the backfield. First down inside the 15-yard line, and it moves the chains. About a 15-yard play. Keenan Haley releasing out of the backfield and leaping for the catch. First down, Saints at the 12.
Yeah, 18 yards altogether. And you know, this is a part of the game for Sam that has really advanced this year over his first 2 years. His completion percentage is above 70%, efficiency rating among the top 10 in the nation, and it's for plays like that where he's finding his receivers and his receivers are finding him to get the completions.
Tight end right, ball right hash, snap back to Sam. They're going to give it to Haley on the sweep right, looking for a block on the edge, did not quite get it. Nice play defensively for Taylor, number 21, Reed Messer, the freshman out of Greensburg, Indiana. Brings up second down and 9 after a gain of 1. The ball was at the they're going to say it was a loss, actually, and move the down marker the wrong way. Back out to the 14 it goes. 2nd down and 11. Saints on the field looking toward the sideline for the play. No score here. 7:15 to go. First quarter. Turner Stadium here in Upland, Indiana.
Perfect afternoon for football. 75 degrees. A little bit of the wind out of the east here.
Here is Sam dropping, throwing into the end zone. Wide open is a Tumulty. Joey Tumulty with the catch and the touchdown. Another game with a Tumulty score, and the Saints go up 6-0.
Make it 23 games in a row dating back to the start of the 2021 season. And we've seen 1, 2, and sometimes 3 Tumulty scores. So far it's 1, and it puts the Saints up 7-0. I'll tell you what, nice offensive series for St. Francis. Really mixed it up, and I think Sam was perfect on completions.
Yep, 2 third-down conversions, a 4th down conversion, and a touchdown into the back of the end zone for the young Joey Tumulty. Extra point is good from Brian Mayday. It is 7-0 here early on, just a tick under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Saints are 3-0, looking to go 4-0 for the first time since 2014. You have to go back to 2008 to find a Saints team that went 4-0. They went 7-4 that year. They are 3-0. Again, they did go 3-0 in 2014.
That is correct.
So looking about 15 years.
And this is a Taylor team that St. Francis hasn't played in a number of years, even though there's so many crossover games. Taylor, a Mid-East opponent in the MSFA, but this is the first meeting since 2014. The Saints dominated early. They played as early as 1986, the first year of the St. Francis program. St. Francis won the first 4, and then the last 3 in 2012, 13, and 14, Taylor claimed victory. So Taylor with a 3-game winning streak, but the Saints lead the all-time series 4-3.
Mayday puts the kickoff into the air. That one's deep. Nice help from the wind at his back. Will go into the end zone for a touchback, and we'll see the St. Francis defense back on the field for the second time. First opportunity forced a Trojan 3 and out. And they run in an offense you don't typically see in the MSFA, that triple option. And they got a lot of horses in that backfield who can carry the football for them. They are led in that category by Dylan Scally, 49 carries, 153 yards, and a touchdown coming into today. But don't they have 6 guys, I believe, who've carried the ball at least 14 times and have at least 100 yards?
Correct.
In the shotgun is our quarterback, Damon Hockett, the sophomore. Man in motion. He'll roll left, flips it inside, and it is a pickup of 2 or 3.
Good coverage that time by the Saints. T.J. Neal and Tavian Wells right there to snuff out the play. It was a little pitch pass. They set it up as, again, that triple option, but then one of the receivers comes from the opposite side of the field. Quarterback pitches to him, and both Wells and T.J. Neal right there for the play. Just a 3-yard pickup.
And it's a quarterback option. He's going to flip it to his right. Ball carrier picks up about 4 or 5 before he's run out of bounds. That's going to be, depending on the spot, probably a first down, maybe a bit shy. First down of the game for the Taylor Trojans. It looks like John Thomas, the wide receiver, getting the carry. That's another thing we saw. They got a bunch of running backs who can run the ball, but their receivers will go into the backfield and carry as well.
Yeah, we've seen their receivers averaging, although they don't get as many carries, one of their receivers is averaging 6 yards per carry, and the other one 7 yards.
Scally in the pistol formation this time. Traditional run play. It goes to Thomas again. He breaks free for another 10 yards. He broke a tackle after about 5 and picked up another 5 more. Another first down for Taylor up to their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, just a couple missed tackles that time by St. Francis, allowing the runner to get the extra yardage. Really had him stopped after about a 5-yard gain, but he made the spin move and picked up another 5 yards. And now it's Taylor's ball, 1st and 10 at its own 45.
More of that triple option look. They'll put a man in motion into the backfield, but they're going to give it to the tailback, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard or 2. Nick Mabudis flying in from his safety spot to make a tackle for a loss.
Good job by Mabudis reading that out, like you said, coming in from the safety spot, sometimes plays the nickel back, and right there to make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
Scott Tumulty, the nickel, looks like in this package, kind of playing center field in that defense here on second down. And they say no again. I thought he went backward a yard or two, but ball at the line of scrimmage here. Same pistol formation, slot left, 2 wide. Ball right hash of the 45-yard line. Look to throw this time. Angle around to the outside is complete for a pickup of 9. But no, it did pop loose. Ball was intended for Huston Holbein, the senior, but he dropped it. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 for Taylor.
Yeah, that's a catch you got to make as the wide receiver. Quick slant in would have been a pickup of 8 yards, but receiver dropped the ball, and good things for the Saints. It'll be 3rd and 10 for Taylor.
3rd down conversion at about 37% for this Trojans team.
It tends to be the average for most teams. I think the Saints are at about, 33%?
Yeah, not good last week for that average. Here's the snap, and we're going to look to throw here. Steps up. It's going to be a draw play. Quarterback's going to try to do it himself. I couldn't tell if it was drawn up that way or a broken play, but either way, it was stopped by Nick Mabudis before any more damage is done. It's going to bring up 4th down and 4. Let's see how they trust their special teams here.
And I believe Cam Holman there as well.
And they're going to go for it here. 4th down and 4 at the Saint 49-yard line. If they don't get it here, it's going to be a very short field for Sam Tumulty and company.
And they like to go for it. On average, they have about 4 fourth down plays per game. They're 8 of 17 on the season, which is, again, a high number. Usually see maybe 1, maybe 2 per game, and especially against the opponents that they've faced.
Motion from right to left, and the whistle will blow a dead. Timeout called by head coach Aaron Mingo of Taylor, coming in with an 8-17 in his 3rd year at the helm of the Trojans. Had 2 wins back in 2021, improved to 5 wins in 2022. Well, it's only his 3rd year here at Taylor. Been coaching for over a decade, 15 years. Started at his alma mater at Greenville. Went to Bluefield College. Was the offensive coordinator and offensive line coach at NAI High School Dort, which I believe is in Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken, before coming here and taking over and been trying to build this program up over the last 3 years.
Dort's in Iowa, Doan's in Nebraska.
Doan is the one I was thinking of.
But they are both 5 letters, and they both start with D.
Once you get to that point, just forget about it. I'm going to mix them all up.
Now, the interesting thing that I have seen, I did not watch any film on the game, obviously, but one of the things that we see in the statistics, the quarterback, Damon Hockett, has punted 3 times, and it looks like they're going to bring out their punt team now. They decided against going for it on 4th and 4, and now the punt team seems to be out.
Well, if they've done their scouting, they're not going to give Scott Tumulty a chance here because he's one of the top 10 returners in the country. Nearly blocked by Mike Johnson, but a booming kick did not give Tumulty a chance. It bounces sideways and will be down. That's a beautiful punt at about the 7-yard line. Nicely done by Isaiah Grabowskis, the sophomore from Jackson, Michigan. St. Francis 3-0 with wins so far over Waldorf at home to start the year. They beat St. Francis, Indiana for the first time in forever on week 2, 17-0, pitching a shutout there. And then the first road contest was up at Lawrence Tech in Michigan a week ago. A little bit closer than what I think a lot of people thought it would be, but a 14-12 victory for the Saints, give them a 3-0 record. That was the 60th win of the 12-year coaching career for Joe Curry. Sam Tumulty still on there. I don't know if they might switch, bring Carl Bew out, but Sam Tumulty's going to be there for the second drive of the game. 3:32 left to go, first quarter, 7-zip Saints. Snap back to Sam. Whistle's going to blow it dead before it even began. That's not a good start. It's going to be a false start called on St. Francis. Half the distance will put it just inside the 5, I believe, right back to the 4. I'd like to welcome those listening in the Joliet area, WCSF 88.7. Great job by the guys again on the pregame show. You'll hear from them at halftime, and then they'll wrap things up with a postgame show as well, which you can listen to online on WCSF's website. They broadcast live 24/7. That wind's starting to pick up a little bit. Now it looks like it's a kind of sideways from left to right. high snap, but Sam had to bring it down. Hand off to Haley. Another inside run, maybe 3 or 4 yards to be had there for St. Francis. That's going to bring up second down and just about back to the original line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 11 for USF. Tight end here left for St. Francis. 2 wide receivers. Again, the handoff to Haley. Again, he tries right inside that A gap, and there has been no room there for the first 2 drives. The only success Keenan Haley's had so far is catching out of the backfield, but he's had no room inside.
Yeah, the most yardage was on that previous play of 4 yards, but it's been 1, 2, 3, or 4 yards. Saints' last drive, I believe, was 10 plays, covering 69 yards in almost 5 minutes. Longest drive of the series, resulting in a touchdown for the Saints this year, Nick.
Yeah, it's been short drives all season long. Blitz coming from the middle here against Sam. He's going to let it rip down the air, looking for Jordan Long.
Oh, wow!
He makes the one-handed grab. How did he do it? He is past the 50, near the 40-yard line, and as you could tell from the exuberant Dave Laquetta here in the press box, an incredible grab by Dezion Jordan. He had no business catching that football.
He made an acrobatic he was juggling the ball not once, not twice, but it wasn't until the 3rd time that he picked it up. I believe
with his left hand.
Grabbed it. He bounced it the first time with his left hand, then his right hand, and then finally put 2 hands on it for what appears to be, a 55-yard gain?
I thought it was going to be a pass interference because they were holding his arms the entire time, but credit to Dezion Jordan. That concentration, a big gain into Taylor territory again. Keenan Haley trying to bounce outside. He's going to go for a loss back to the 43-yard line. He's going to lose about 6. Or make that 4. 2nd down and 16 coming up for St. Francis. No real success on the run game, and I think a lot of that has to do because, you're not fooling anybody. You know if they're going to run the ball, it's going to number 27. Usually Sam will run some sort of a fake. He'll take it back and run it himself, but today he's not been much of a threat in the run game.
Yeah, other than that, the first couple plays where the Saints had 5 yards and then the 15 yards on the penalty, they have not been able to get anything going with their running game, and they average around 200 yards per game rushing.
Play action. Sam throwing downfield, looking for Dezion again. No acrobatic catch that time. He was in double coverage and incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long for St. Francis. They get the play from the sideline. St. Francis in their traveling white uniforms today. Brown numbers, brown pants, gold trim, white helmets. Taylor, the home purple uniforms, gray pants with purple and white trim, white numbers, purple helmets. 3rd down and 14 for St. Francis. They're at the Taylor 42. Sam looking to throw, gets out of pressure somehow, directing some traffic downfield, lets it fly, and it's intercepted. Ooh, just dropped at the very last second, trying to thread the needle into Joey Tumulty before that was knocked down by Ho Jun Yoon, the senior out of West Lafayette, Indiana. That's going to bring up 4th and long. Brian Mayday on to punt it away.
Yeah, you can tell on these pass plays where Sam is under pressure and he's been able to evade the pressure a couple times now. He is not running the ball. He is probably told, do not go past the line of scrimmage unless he's maybe got a short yardage gain and then can just slide to get that 1st down.
Even makes me nervous when he escapes the pocket because there's a lot of lateral movement and quick movements that have to happen there. Good snap back to Brian. He'll loft one into the air, let the wind do its job, but it will take a bounce right at the sideline. Keemon Reese will come and down it inside the 30. I think Brian probably would like to have that one back. He's pretty good at putting those inside the 20, inside the 15 when he gets the opportunity. That one may have just bounced off the right side of his foot.
Yeah, 4 of his 10 punts have been inside the 20 this year.
Defense on the field for St. Francis, trying to work against this triple option. So far, so good. 2 drives for Taylor today. No points. We got under a minute to go here in the first quarter.
You're going to see a quick game with a lot of running going on.
Well, from Taylor, a fair amount of running from Keenan Haley today. And another timeout, or is it going to be a penalty with a delay of game? I don't see any flags. They never started the clock.
Yeah, they're asking him to reset the play clock.
And they do. 25 on the play clock. The ball is set, and we're ready to go. Hockett, the quarterback. Only 53% through the air. He's going to fake on the inside run. Toss left. Back again to John Thomas. He's been their most dangerous weapon so far today. And he will pick up about 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 coming up.
Nick Mabutis coming up from his free safety spot along with Matt Perry, one of the 2 St. Francis cornerbacks.
No huddle offense this time. TJ Neal coming up to help out that defensive line. He'll take a few steps back. Three wide receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Motion to the backfield, hand off to the tailback this time, and a great solo tackle on the inside. It did require a bit of help to finish it off. Who was the first one in there?
Nick Mabutis again. Yep.
He's having quite the quarter here as it ticks down to the end of the first 15. So far here at Taylor, it's 7-0 Saints after 1 quarter of play. Actually, this rivalry or this series goes back to the origins of the St. Francis program. Back in 1986, the very first year Gordon Gillespie started this program, they did play Taylor that year, which I believe was the 2nd or 3rd to last game of the season back then in 1986. St. Francis is 4-3 against the Trojans. They won the first 4 but have lost the last 3. Back in 86, it was a 21-14 win. The next year, it was 26-12. And then there was quite the amount of time before the Trojans and Saints met again. It was 2000 was the 3rd game of the series. Saints won that one 28-24. 2001, they won again 13-7. Another 8 years before they played another game. 2009, it was 38-23. 2013, it was 30-20 Taylor. And then Taylor won the last meeting, which was all the way back in 2014, 20-14, as a matter of fact. St. Francis actually outgained Taylor in that last game, 258-145, but still ended up losing that game because of 4 interceptions.
Yeah, 6 turnovers in the game altogether.
3rd down and 1 here for Taylor as we flip sides. Now Taylor going left to right. Win not really benefiting anybody, kind of a cross breeze from left to right across the offense. Quarterback's going to keep it, try to run, but he took a little punishment there. Keemon Reese, along with, was that Pat Strozier?
Cam
Holman,
yeah. Cam with a couple tackles now. Keemon Reese as well. And how about the 2 big plays by the graduate student Keemon Reese, transfer from Trinity International University. Had the sack on the second to last play before the half that denied Lawrence Tech the opportunity to stop the clock and at least get a field goal. And then the 2-point conversion, he got the sack on that as well.
That play stopped another 3rd down drive. This punt just shanked to the right. That's going to be around midfield. Depending on where the official wants to spot that ball, they will come up and say the 49-yard line of Taylor. That punt right off the side of the foot, and the wind was blowing that way too, so that didn't help them. But the Saints are going to have an extremely short field here to start off the first drive of the second quarter.
Yeah, surprising out of Isaiah Grabowskis, the punter for Taylor. He's averaging nearly 40 yards a punt, which at this level is really good. And that punt goes probably, about 15, maybe 16 yards. St. Francis will have possession in Taylor territory, just 46 seconds into the second quarter.
Sam on the field's got 2 wide receivers right, 1 left. Tight end left is Dan Getch. Keenan Haley, nope, that's Gavin Day for the first time. But Sam wants to throw it. Nice, clean pocket. Gets it out to Getch, who came back for the catch. He'll pick it past the 40-yard line up to the 38, and that'll be right near the yard-to-gain mark, depending on where they put it down. I'm going to say he's a yard shy. So 2nd down and 1, the first catch of the day for Dan Getch. Dan's 3rd catch of the season, over 20 yards.
Yeah, there's a guy you'd like to see get into the offense a little bit more. Great blocking tight end for the Saints. He really had a great year a year ago as an all-conference selection, and really like to see him get in the offense, get a little bit more receiving yards.
Gavin Day tried to run it inside. He's having as much success as Keenan Haley is, and he'll go backward for a yard. We're lucky to have no gain on the play. Those defensive tackles for Taylor doing their job, filling the gaps inside. It'll be 2nd down, or make it 3rd down and 1 for USF. Jason Hartsfield will take a seat. Joey Tumulty will come back on in the wide receiver role. We'll have him on the right side. Dezion Jordan will be wide left. Dan Getch, left tight end, ball left hash of the 40-yard line. They did go back a yard. So 3rd down and 2. A couple minutes into our second quarter, 7-0 USF. Sam Tumulty in the shotgun. Gavin Day on his right hip. 4 down linemen for the Trojans. They will rush 4. Sam looking, escapes the pocket, rolls right, fires to the sideline, and incomplete. A little bit too tall for the intended receiver on the outside. Looks like that was Friddle, the tight end. That's going to bring up 4th. Yep.
Good coverage that time by Ho-Jon Young, one of the linebackers for Taylor, a senior. And looks like the Saints are going to go for it here on 4th down.
Fourth down and 1 with Sam in the shotgun. 2 wideouts right, 1 left. They will hand it off to Day, put it in the hands of the offensive line, and he is not going to get there. They've run that same play 5 or 6 times, and I'm not sure they've had 1 yard on it.
You know, as good as the offensive linemen have been this afternoon in terms of protecting Sam on pass plays, they have really struggled here in the run game this afternoon. We had the first quarter numbers. The Saints had 8 carries for just 5 yards, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
And here in the second quarter, the 2 plays have netted 0 yards. So 10 plays, 5 yards for the Saints on the ground.
On comes Stamen, Hockett and company running that option play. He tried to run it left, stopped, pitch out left, and another first down for John Thomas. They're running the option. It looks like they're getting more comfortable with it here as the game goes on. That one picks up 7. I thought he had a first down, but he must have put his pinky toe out of bounds there on the far side of the field, make it 2nd down and 2. As a defense, how do you attack that option play? What's important when you're trying to stop it?
Well, again, everybody has their coverage, man. So somebody is always on the quarterback, somebody is always on the first back, and somebody is on the second back. But again, sometimes the quarterback does a good job of deceiving, and that leaves guys out there and wide open.
And we just saw it right there. Scott Tumulty was in charge of Thomas. He covered him the entire way, leaving Keemon Reese to cover the quarterback. Keemon made a nice solo tackle there, but it was just enough to pick up the required 2 yards. So first down for Taylor at their own 49-yard line. It comes down to being able to tackle your man then.
Yeah, and exactly. And the biggest key is that second guy, the guy that has the quarterback, because the quarterback, again, is reading off of that, and he can just fake out the defender, and that's where the big yardage comes in.
Brendan Lamb, the running back, picked up 1, but T.J. Neal again with a solid tackle there in the middle of the field out of that middle linebacker spot. He's been so fun to watch come up in this linebacker core in his years here for the Saints. Again, the pistol formation. Got a wing back right, 2 wideouts left. Wing back motion backfield. They hand it off. Nope, quarterback keeps it, flips it to that wing back in motion. Hard tackle out at the 46-yard line, and a pickup of 3. We'll still bring up 3rd down. I got to say, the tackling's been there. Was that Cooper, who I believe, or maybe it was Tumulty or Mabutis? I don't know. Any one of those defensive backs are coming up and making plays here today.
And the other key to this, too, is, your wide receivers have to do a good job of blocking, especially for the cornerbacks and the safeties that are coming up.
Looks like this one they want to throw. It's a screen pass, and it was tipped, and was it picked? And Mabudis was there.
Are they saying pick? I think they are.
Mabudis says he had it, but they would be celebrating if it was, and they are saying incomplete pass. Nick Mabudis thought he had that one on the tipped ball. It was a screen to the running back who was a bit tall, tried to tip it, and Mabudis dove in there underneath it, but apparently just missed it, but it does bring up 4th down. Scott Tumulty will count off 10 of his teammates and stand back ready to return the punt.
I think Cam Holman had the first tip.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
Cam Holman almost kind of like the Bears game ended with a tipped interception there on a screen pass. There's a good snap back to the punter. Let's see if he can get one off this time. That's a lot better. He'll spiral that one back to the goal line where Scott will try to return it, but back to the 5. Probably would have been better off letting that one bounce into the end zone.
Yep, exactly right. Sam's toes were right on the end line in that goal area, and should have just let it go. Saints would have got it back at their own 25-yard line and would have had great field position. Instead, they'll start for the second time deep in their own territory. They started at the 8 2 plays ago, got a couple first downs, and then had to punt.
Sam Tumulty onto the field again, but instead of from the 25, he's going to start at his own 6. Probably going to have some words with his older brother after that one.
Just challenging him a little bit.
2 tight ends right, 2 wide receivers. Dezion Jordan wide left. On the ground, inside run to Haley. He's lucky to fall forward up to the 10 and a gain of 4. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, was able to spin out of the initial tackle and fall to the 6. Or fall to the 5.
Good first down play called by Matt McCarthy. Give yourself a little bit more breathing room. We saw last week Indiana Wesleyan and St. Xavier back-to-back safeties on intentional grounding in the end zone. And how often do you see something like that?
Yeah, very rare, especially with 2 experienced quarterbacks like that. Tumulty in the gun. He wants to throw it this time. 3-step drop. Better hurry. Quick out to Haley. It's caught at the 13-yard line. Tackled immediately. Only picks up about 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Saints. 9.5 to go first half. It's 7-0 St. Francis here in the first half. This MSFA crossover game.
Saints have converted twice on 3rd down. I believe both times were on their touchdown drive that was 10 plays, 65 yards.
Tight end right, 3 wide receivers this time for Sam Tumulty. Pressure coming from his left off the edge. Picked up, fires right, come back and caught by Joey. Makes one man miss, sprints back, makes another miss, and now he's off to the races. There goes Joey Tumulty left sideline. Past the 40, tackled down at the Taylor 36-yard line. A big play to Joey Tumulty, flipping the field for the Saints.
46-yard pass play, and that was a 5-yard pass. I know some programs have yards after catch, and that was definitely 41 yards after the catch for Joey Tumulty. And he got a really nice block from Dan Getch in that middle of the field. He took down one of the linebackers and allowed Joey to free himself up to come back to the near side here and pick up the big first down on 3rd down.
First down for the Saints. Handoff to Scott Tumulty. Gets a nice block again from a tight end. It was Friddle. Pushes his wide receiver out of the way. Tried to get past the first down and did, but the ball looks like it came out. And who jumped on it? Taylor. Turnover. Saints turn it over on another fumble. It'll belong to the Trojans at their own 24-yard line.
That's something we've seen a lot more of from the St. Francis offense this year. Even in the takeaway giveaway department this year, the 6th turnover of the year for the Saints. I believe it's now 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions.
I believe they fumbled it 8 times, and that's the 4th one they've lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it comes deep in Taylor territory, and a costly turnover for the Saints, trying to get a 2-touchdown advantage on the host Trojans.
8 minutes to go, 7-0 Saints. Defense back on the field after the first turnover of the game. Again, Hockett in that pistol formation, has a wing back left, a tailback behind him, wing back in motion left to right. There's the snap. It was bobbled, but right into the hands of the running back, who was able to get back to just about the line of scrimmage, right into the hands. I believe that was 27, Kyle Turnachik.
I'm still trying to figure out if that was a designed run play or, I mean, you had all three receivers going out, and the quarterback bobbled it, and it went right into the hands of the running back, and then he decided to run the ball. So I'm not sure if it was designed for him to get the ball right away or if they were sprinting out to the right side, getting ready for a throw.
Goes back for a loss. That snap gets away from him. Kicked inside the 5. It's going out of bounds. It was saved from going out of bounds by the Saints. They pick it up, and they say it's a touchdown. The Saints say it's a touchdown. The officials have not, and they do. Touchdown. Holy cow.
Logan Johnson with the touchdown, and I'll tell you
Who
what.
Who saved that ball?
I believe, who was it? It might have been Scott Tumulty.
Okay, so
either him or Jalen Cooper, but I think it was Scott. And I'll tell you what's interesting about this. I think the officials need to have they needed to have a conference after that play to confirm that the decision that they made was correct, because that's a play you don't see very often.
No, what happened was it was a bad snap. The quarterback tried to get it, but he ended up kicking the ball toward the end zone. It was going out of bounds. Scott Tumulty raced, dove, and saved it from going out of bounds into Logan Johnson's hands, who was right at the pylon and scored. An incredibly bizarre play gives the Saints their second touchdown of the day. Extra points good from Mayday. It is 14-0 Saints on the most bizarre play that I have seen covering the Saints in 11 years.
And you know what really made that play is, to be honest with you, like I said, I think it was Scott Tumulty. We'd have to go back and look at the replay if we had a replay. But if he tries to recover that ball, I believe it would have gone out of bounds before he recovered it, and then it still would have been Taylor football.
Right. That was a headsy play by who we believe was Scott Tumulty.
And then, like I said, Logan Johnson was right behind him at about the 2 or 3 yard line, and then just mowed down the other guy from Taylor that was there into the end zone for the touchdown. I want to say that might be, I'd have to go back. I thought Logan Johnson scored a touchdown. Was it last year or a couple of years
last
ago?
year he had a punt return touchdown against Missouri Baptist.
That's right.
That was the only punt in the season that wasn't returned by Scott Tumulty. Ended up being fielded by Logan Johnson, one of the upbacks on special teams, and he was able to return it for a touchdown.
You know, and the other interesting thing about that series for Taylor was it was a bad snap on back-to-back plays, which, again, from a veteran center, you don't see that.
Yeah, Mike Medlock, the senior center out of Indiana. They do a nice job of recruiting here in state. I believe like 98% of their rosters local Indiana kids. But yeah, he's a senior, junior quarterback. You don't see that too often. Let's see if they get it straight here. That was a good snap. Quick pass outside, right to the wide receiver at the 30-yard line. He was tackled. St. Francis said they got the strip on the fumble, but officials called it down. We have a flag on the play. No, we don't. It looked like the official had something to say out there, but he just said, oh, nope, second down.
I think he was just saying that the ball was down and it'll be second down.
Okay. Pickup of 6, 2nd and 4 here for Taylor. Right at their own 32-yard line. Again, in the gun is Hockett. Got a running back on his right. They're going to go with the sweep. It's going to be, we thought he might be looking to throw, but he tucked it in. The wide receiver spinning at the 32 will dive to the 34, only able to pick up 2. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 for Taylor.
Yeah, I would agree totally with you, Nick. It just seemed like he kept stringing that out and actually went backwards a little bit and looked like he was getting ready to throw the ball. There was one receiver downfield. Not sure if it was a design play. Again, we did not see film on Taylor in any of their first 4 games, at least we did not. Obviously, the coaches did. But definitely looked like he had the opportunity to pass the ball if he wanted to.
3rd down and 2. Inside carry, straight handoff. That goes nowhere. Johnson was there. Here come the rest of the Saints, Cam Holman and company. It goes backward 2 yards on 3rd down. Another great third down stop by the Saints defense will bring up 4th and 4, and they can't go for it here at their own 34-yard line. TJ Neal gives the no good signal. He'll trot off the field. Another job well done by this Saints defense. They have been outstanding all season long, so far pitching the shutout today.
And I believe right now Taylor is 0 for 4 on third downs this afternoon.
Scott Tumulty back at his own 33-yard line, ready to return the punt, one of the best in the nation. Punt is a low line drive, sending Scott all the way back. Had to make an over-the-shoulder grab at the 16-yard line. Now he's all the way back at his 4, circling back to the opposite sideline and out of bounds at the 17. So it's probably a net of about -1 or 2, but he ran the entire width of the field.
Yeah, I think Scott would like to petition for for the wherever he ends up before he starts going forward is where you should start his yardage. Because really, a lot of times
he runs back.
He runs backwards anywhere between 5 and 10 yards, and I think it's really just to survey the field.
Yeah, his vision's incredible. His elusiveness is second to none, which is reflected in the return numbers that he has. In kick return yardage and yardage per return is in the top 10 of the country. Sam fakes, throws, going deep, downfield to Jordan, overshot him by about 3 yards, incomplete. Looking for another home run play here on first down.
Again, just amazing opportunity for Sam this afternoon to really survey the field. He's got all kinds of time in the backfield this afternoon, which is so crucial with, the injury that happened a couple weeks ago, and it's allowing him to just stay in that pocket without having to move around very often.
I want you to watch that defensive line, because with how well they're stopping the run but not getting pressure on the pass, are they even trying to pass rush, or are they just trying to play the run every play because of how the Saints' running offense has been this entire season? No, they're trying to rush. Sam looking to throw, has to circle out of it, running to his left, throwing across the grain, looking for Joey Tumulty, but it was batted away. Nice defensive effort for Taylor. That was batted away by Dawson Scally, the sophomore, the younger Scally, younger brother of running back Dylan Scally. We talk about the brothers on St. Francis, a couple sets of brothers for Taylor as well. The Hockett brothers, Damon the quarterback and Jacob the linebacker, and the Scally brothers, Dylan the running back and Dawson the safety.
Yeah, actually interesting, right? That both sets of brothers are on the opposite sides of the ball.
And they're major contributors on their team. Every single one of those names I mentioned are in the top of their categories on the team.
Yep.
Here's Sam in the shotgun again on 3rd down and 10. Fires, hit as he's thrown. Looking
Pass
for,
interference.
Dezion Jordan tried to come back for the ball, but the cornerback did not look back for the ball. The penalty will be on Reese Pinkney, the sophomore corner, on Dezion Jordan. Another PI and another 15-yard first down. Second time that PI has moved the chains for the Saints.
Well, and I want you to know, Professor Nick, that I did do my homework assignment, and there was pressure from the linebacker that time.
Thank you.
For Taylor. He was coming in, charging hard. Sam got the ball off.
He took a hit, though, I saw, too.
Yeah, he did. He took probably the toughest hit that he's faced this afternoon.
And you can still tell by the way he maneuvered his body taking that hit there. He's really favoring that leg. First down for the Saints, though, after the penalty. Out to the 34-yard line. There's the snap to Sam. Screen out to Joey. Needs a block. Tried to get around the pick from Hartsfield, but he was stopped after a gain of 3.
Yeah, Hartsfield had the block initially, but then let off, and really a good job by the cornerback for Taylor that time to evade Hartsfield and get the tackle on Joey Tumulty after the 4-yard pickup. Taylor, not a team that has really been penalized all that much, just 13 penalties this year, so an average of about 3 to 4 a game, and they've already been hit with 2 pass interference penalties that have been very costly.
Gavin Day on the sweep right, but he's taken down in the backfield. That's going to be, we got laundry all over the field. There's 3 penalty flags came out. That's got to be a face mask, correct?
I believe so.
Gavin Day was trying to get to the edge, but Avon Jones, the middle linebacker for Taylor, came in with his hands a bit high.
And when they're thrown like that, the way the penalties were, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Yep. Every single official on the field threw their penalty flags on that one. That's how clear it was. So 2nd down and 6 turns into another first down via penalty.
So that's already 3 penalties for 15 yards for Taylor.
We are under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Upland, Indiana, bright sunshine day, beautiful weather conditions today.
13 penalties for 135 yards coming into today, and that's 4 games. Today already, I believe, 4 for a total of 50 yards and 3 on the defense.
Snap back to Sam. 3-step drop. Look. Fires down the middle of the field. That one's incomplete. Looking for Hartsfield, but in triple coverage. 2nd down and 10 at the Taylor 48-yard line.
Yeah, and Sam actually pointing to himself as he looks over at Hartsfield and said, tapped himself on his chest and said, "My bad, Jason, not yours."
You want some homework? I would like to know, in Sam Tumulty's career here, the game with the most passing attempts. How about that?
Yeah, I believe.
We'll have to look that up at halftime.
Yeah, I think that was 2 years ago.
Snap to Sam. He tried to hand it off. I thought it might have come out, but no gain on the play after the handoff to, was it Gavin Day?
Went to James Williams that time. First carry for James.
I like the 2 Jameses there in the running. They don't get a ton of carries with the talent above them on the depth charts, but James Williams and James Zillinger, both running backs for St. Francis, can be very effective when they do get their opportunities. Well, thank you very much for your service there, James Williams, and you'll take a seat. 1 play, 1 yard, and he'll take a spot on the sideline.
It doesn't sound like you have the coaching headset on this afternoon, Nick.
I do not.
And the Saints are going to take a timeout here.
Got 3rd down and 9 after the 1-yard run. St. Francis almost had that interception back in the first quarter. They are working on quite the interception streak. They've gone 12 games in a row dating back to last year with an interception. Jalen Cooper kept that streak alive last week with a diving interception on the very last possession for Lawrence Tech of the game. Kwaku Apia has a pick this year. Matthew Perry has 2 of them. What an addition those Trinity International transfers have been after the program up there in Deerfield folded. Keemon Reese, Matthew Perry, both of them defensively as starters have been big factors with why this defense has been so successful this year.
2:55 left to play first half. Saints on top 14-0. They drove on their first drive. It ended with a 13-yard touchdown pass from Sam Tumulty to his brother Joey. That came with 6:59. And then just a few minutes ago, Logan Johnson on the fumble recovery into the end zone for the score. St. Francis 14, Taylor nothing.
Under 3 minutes to go. 3rd down and 9 here for the Saints, just inside Taylor territory. They rush 4. Sam's in a bit of trouble. He'll escape right. Throws it sidearm to Gavin Day on the crossing route. It is complete, but not enough for the first down. They'll get it up to the 41-yard line, about 3 yards shy. 4th and 3 for the Saints, and they've been in this exact situation. 4th down and 3 yards around the Taylor 40-yard line. They've went for it before earlier in the game, and it looks like they're going to go for it again here on 4th down and 3.
Yeah, you're in that position of you could do, one of two things, obviously one of two things, but you're right there. You could take a penalty here, back it up 5 yards, and then punt, take Taylor deep, and go into the break with a 14-0 lead. And I think maybe that's why they're going to call timeout here to make a decision. You got Matt McCarthy actually conferring with Joe Curry, the head coach, on the sideline as we speak.
What would you do, Coach? Look at him. What do you think?
I would actually punt here.
I agree with that.
I would take him deep. Again, you never know the situation. And you do have this crosswind blowing. If you get a bad snap, it opens the door for Taylor, and that's something you don't want to do after an incredible defensive performance by St. Francis here in the first half against the team that, despite being 1-3 and despite playing Division I talent, they are in the top 10 in terms of rushing offense.
Yep, over 800 yards of total rushing yards. Puts them at the top of the NAIA, but we got some guys who can run the ball as well. And wearing the brown and gold, they're also in the top 5 in the NAIA.
And the Saints are going to go for it.
Yeah, 210 rushing yards per game for St. Francis, which is number 1 in the conference, number 10 in the country. 9 rushing touchdowns, which is number 1 in the MSFA, and number 10 in the NAIA. So, yeah, 4th down and 3. Coach Curry said, go for it, Matt. 3 wide receivers. Tight end is Getch on the right side of the line. Sam's going to run it for the first time today. He'll pick up the first down, but good God, go down, man. First down, he picked up 5. He needed 3. I wonder if that's why they were talking about it. Coach McCarthy's probably like, hey, Joe, I want to run Sam here.
You might be right.
And they needed a little time to talk about that.
And then the competitive drive in Sam doesn't want to go down after he's tackled, after he picks up the first down.
Do you think Sam Tumulty knows that there's a rule where you can slide and they can't hit you?
No, that was never discussed at the Tumulty dinner table.
Snap to Sam. He's going to throw this time. Plenty of time. Down the middle. Finds his younger brother. And another first down. They needed 10. He picked up 14. First down Saints. Joey Tumulty getting it done through the air today.
8th play for the Saints on this drive, not including the 2 15-yard penalties, one for pass interference and one for
last play of the half.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
And Sam throws it incomplete. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 111.
111. With how bright the sunshine is shining right at the scoreboard, kind of hard to tell from our angle, so I apologize for that. But, yeah, 111 to go. It looked like there were no numbers in those fields.
It's a tough angle, too, with that scoreboard where we're sitting.
I see some numbers. I see 14-0. That I see. The time, okay, 111. Got it. Second down and 10. Back at the Taylor 22-yard line here for Sam Tumulty. 3 wideouts again. Ball right hash. Dan Gatch on the right side of the line. He'll go out into a pattern. Sam looking. Here comes the pressure. He dropped the ball, but it bounced right back into his breadbasket before he was piled upon. First sack of the game for Taylor.
11-yard loss on the play. Yeah, I'm not sure if Sam would have tried to elude the 2 defensive linemen that were rushing him that time, but then he dropped the ball and, of course, had to just fall on it and take the 11-yard loss.
Yep, it's going to be 3rd down and forever here, and the Saints are going to let the time tick down as much as they can. They'll take it down to about 25 seconds.
First sack of the afternoon for Taylor.
Well, they're not going to let it. They're not going to take a timeout or anything. They're going to try to get the ball snapped, but they won't, and now they'll take. Oh, they did get the timeout. So just before the play clock ran out, St. Francis took the timeout with 23 seconds to go. So it'll be 3rd down and 20 when they break the timeout. Thank you very much to the Taylor staff here for the accommodations. Beautiful facility here at Turner Stadium. Looks like pretty new field turf. Nice press box up here.
Yeah, actually a different press box.